I try to bring God into everything that I do. Because I know if it wasn't for God, I wouldn't be here.
All right.
If it wasn't for God, y'all wouldn't be here. And I think it's a magical thing that we all here together. And we all get to experience this together. So I thank y'all for coming, sincerely. But I keep my prayers simple. It's simply, God, please give me the strength. Please give me the guidance. And please lead me and put me where you want me to be. I'm going to go hard in every step. After I get that sign, after I get that message, I'm going to go full-fledged. I'm humble, but I have humble beginnings. See, I know what it's like to miss a meal. I know what it's like to be hungry. I know what it's like to live without having lights. I know what it's like to survive the summertime without AC. These were some of the earlyhood years that I had to survive through. But that made me who I am. I know what it's like to have extension cords coming through the windows.
Right.
Most people ask their neighbors a bar of sugar. Yeah. Refrigerators, stove, cable. These are just things I remember growing up as a kid with. Those things I don't take for granted because they made me who I am today. But I don't tell y'all that for sympathy. I just want to give y'all a frame of mind of who's speaking to y'all today. I've been there, I've done that, but I don't make excuses.
Okay, I like that.
I was born with an umbilical cord wrapped around my neck. Emergency C-section, 5 pounds. So God blesses me every day from out the gate. He's been blessing me. He ain't stopped. So I'll never take that for granted. So I say thank you. Although I didn't have the best cars growing up, I did have some cards. You hear me? And once I realized I got 5 cards, I got all my fingers, I got all my toes, you can make life what you want it to be. After you do away with all the blame, the guilt, depression, make life what you want it to be. Do what you can now, where you are right now, with what you have right now. Period. Growing up, I gave you a little bit of my environment, but I wasn't the coolest kid. I didn't dress the nicest. I was very quiet. I remember days in high school, I go the whole day, not really talk to nobody, very, very introverted. That's my personality type. Although I don't mind to get in the mix, I can, I've grown, I can get active like this nowadays, but that's something I had to practice at. I pray that my daughter, I pray that my sons can just, be more vibrant, be more active, and, she is. This is my family here, beautiful wife. Give her a round of applause. Life is a journey. It's a beautiful experience, but only when you are prepared. For those that are not prepared, that's how we come into making bad decisions. But once you can identify those barriers, once you can start creating opportunities to apply the wisdom that you may learn, life gets a little bit smoother. The stress a little less when you got a little extra 2 chains. Y'all see that? Hey. But what about the times when we make the bad choice?
All right.
What about those times when we didn't make the right decision? What about the times when life gets rough? See, God is stripping us. He's stripping us, and it seems like it's the times when we start to doing right. It seems like it's the times when things start to going good, we get knocked down. That's God stripping us. What is he preparing you for? When your back is against the wall, when you feel like there's no way out, why is God stripping you? It's think about that for a minute. Growing up, I was always smart. I was intelligent, but I didn't have the confidence to walk my own way when things got tough. I didn't have the courage to stay in my own lane when things were getting rough. As youth, we're more prone to conform. We want to be around the cool kids. We want to do what seems to be cool. We want to be accepted. And I think as we grow up, we learn that you do what you have to do when you have to do it. In order to succeed, you can't always be on the scene. It's okay to be ugly for a little bit. It's okay to do without for a little bit. Because when you're spending all your time worried about material things, you're spending your time worried about other people that don't really worry about you.
All right.
Drinking, smoking, partying. Literally, I was doing all of the things wrong that I could do. And it seemed like it was intentional. 16, 17, 18. Young and dumb. But I was cool, so I thought, making all these bad decisions, I was on my way to college. I was smart, like I said. WSU engineering scholarship. That was my path. That was the path that God put me on. Had I had the courage to follow that through, I could have been building the buildings. I could have been designing different architecture. I could have been designing different structures in the community. But I went the other way, reverse engineering. I figured out how I could be breaking into things and trying to swindle away to make extras, pure profit kind of a mindset. So I had the right idea, just going about it the wrong way. And I think that's a concept that I put in my book, Better Days in 90 Days. If you see here, this is a link. So I want to ask everybody to pull their phones out. This is a link, it's a free download. So please feel free to download that now. So as I'm talking, you can have a reference. How you do it, you just take a picture of it, everybody. Even it's very simple. You may think you can't do it, but just hold your camera up. Yeah, just hold your camera up and
Yeah, I know. I could click on that yellow blue. Do I need to start over?
So that's Better Days in 90 Days. It's a free download. It's on Amazon. So you go to the link. It's through Kindle. It allows you to download it for free. Does anybody have any problems
It's
from it
not
on?
smart. Yeah, I didn't.
Okay, and for those that I do have some physical books on copy. If you don't want it for free, I do have some for copy. But
I had a little.
so
Didn't
I was on the wrong path.
I don't know.
I was doing things the wrong way.
Oh, well, you got yours. My phone's not smart.
And it wasn't until, as for most black youth in America, it's not until you go to jail until you finally realize that I'm messed up. I got some things that I need to work on, and taking that self-reflection, taking that time to take a step back. Sometimes we need that a long time just to figure ourselves out. Life goes by so fast, we wake up day by day we living. It seems like nothing changes, but one day we wake up and it seems like everything's changed. But I want to tell y'all a secret. I'm a black man.
Okay, I'll say that
I'm gonna tell y'all one more secret. I'm not perfect. But using these principles in my book, I feel like This is the way that we can take back control of our lives. These are things or aspects that I've used to my life to this day. A year ago, I was working 60, 70 hours a week at a job that I did not love. I didn't even like it. I hated it, but I had a baby on the way. So I had to do what I had to do. But that moment God said, I got something better for you. You hear me? I was gone, I was talking to my wife earlier today, and she was like, I remember that day you were just sitting on the end of the bed, shaking your head, wondering what you was gonna do. I didn't have a clue. I was working 60, 70 hours a week. I was comfortable, but I couldn't go back to my job. I couldn't do it one more day. I couldn't wake up. I was working 12 hours a week, lifting 40 to 50 pounds, I'm getting to it every day. I couldn't do it, not one more. God said, sleep in. That's what he told me. No cap. No, for real. He said, sleep in, and I'm a hard worker. I worked there for 3 years. I was doing that straight, 12 hours a day. That's a lot on any man. Like, ladies, if you got a man out there that works hard, like he be working hard, and I'm not saying that women don't work hard at their job, because I'm sure y'all do. But man, they be working, man. And I don't know if y'all really know that, but hey, shout out to men that work. Shout out to women that work. I'm just saying. Every 90 days, I reflect. I get my piece of paper out, I get my notes out, and I think, how can I do better in life? What can I do right now to do better? And I outlined it. Through manifestation, through preparation, and execution, anything is possible. What is manifestation? It's an opportunity to start fresh. These are your ideas. This is a time for you and God to have that conversation. Where do you want me to be? What can I do? Where can I be? When you're talking to yourself as well, looking yourself in the mirror, you looking yourself in the eye. I know what I did back then. I've done those things. I did that. But where am I going? We wake up and it's up to us. I came to realize if it's in here, that's God speaking to us. I feel like, if you got something, if you got an idea that you've been thinking about, you're thinking about it today. You was thinking about it yesterday. You come to think about it, I was thinking about this last week. Come to think about it, I was thinking about this last month. Come to think about it, I had this vision last year. You wake up tomorrow scrolling down your timeline. That was my idea. But what did you do? You slept on yourself. You slept on yourself. You let the idea pass, and not to even say, still do that idea. There's nothing stopping you from still doing that idea. That may be God, telling you like, oh, they did it. Sometimes you gotta see somebody else do it before you get the courage to do it, and as a leader, I take pride in doing things first. I don't mind opening up the door and bringing, those that come along with me. To truly manifest who we are to be and get to where we need to be, we must first accept what is. What is the reality? We must accept the battle that is coming. We must accept not having or being told no. We must take accountability for what we have done. We must take blame. It's the regret, it's the pain, it's the financial insecurity, it's the depression, it's the anxiety, it's the fear. We must use this negative energy to create a new way, a better way. In this way is living life by your own terms. It's putting yourself in a position to win. See, every day is a blessing, and tomorrow is not promised. We must do amazing things every day. I'm talking, we must do crazy things every day. We must do the unthinkable every day. whatever we didn't get done yesterday, we're gonna do it today. You know, it's a mindset. Better days in 90 days. But some things are not to be told. You ain't gotta speak on your every move. You wanna know why? Because all of your moves ain't gonna get the credit that you think you deserve. You know what I mean? In a perfect world, this room would have been full of everybody that I, those people I went to school with, them people I let hold $5, those people I gave a ride to, those people that I let sleep on my couch. You know what I mean? But I thank y'all, I thank y'all for coming. You know what I mean? We gotta focus on those that support us right now. We can't worry about who's not here. They missing blessings. I'm telling you, everybody here is gonna get a blessing. Stay tapped in, I'm gonna make sure of it. You hear me? See, in this program, it's gonna outline the bigger picture and what it takes to achieve it. I feel like with the plan, anything is possible. Repeat after me. I am it already.
I am it already.
I have everything I need already.
I have everything I need already.
I just have to trust in my heart.
I just have to trust in my heart.
And I have to trust in myself.
And I have to trust in myself.
Tell yourself this often. You have to know that you are everything that you need. God puts everything that you need inside of you already. You don't have to wait. Maybe it is a resource. I heard something earlier said sometimes we just don't have the content or the connect. Maybe we haven't read the right book. Maybe we haven't met the right person. And that's stopping us from abundance. That may be the key between 100 and 100,000. If money is important to anybody out there, it's not. But without it, we can't live, right? I ain't gonna lie, I like money. I just like nice things, I guess, but I try not to be materialistic because chasing a bag got me in some dark places, so I'm aware. I'm aware of my boundaries. We all have to set boundaries, what we're willing to do, what we're willing to not do. How much are we willing to sacrifice? I was going through a dark time. My wife actually stepped out, but, we was beefing. I felt like I didn't really have nobody to talk to. That's a tough spot for a black man to be in when you really can't have nobody to call on. My mom died, so it's like, who do I talk to? How do I move forward? But during that span, I made a lot of bad decisions, a lot that I haven't really even spoke of, but I found myself in a jail cell in Dallas. So we talk about dark times, we talk about starting over. I remember being in that holding cell and I just prayed all night, literally. It was me and my a friend, his name was Christian, I remember. We just stayed up all night, we started reciting scriptures. But you gotta think, they was feeding us bologna sandwiches and water for 72 hours straight. You talk about, Jesus feeding masses with fish and bread. You can survive off a little bit, if it's in you. We just filled ourselves with God, the Word of God, to get us through that time, and I don't really know how else I could have got through that time if it wasn't but God, right? Dark times, but we overcome. During that time, I said, you know what? God, you get me out of here. Man, I'm gonna do right. I'm gonna get me a job. But I laid out a plan because I knew I didn't want to work. I knew that I would have to work myself out of this hole. But working for somebody else was never my dream. I can't. I know too much. I've done too much. I value myself too much. So being an entrepreneur and telling my story was something I always had a passion for. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give myself X amount of time. I'm gonna complete my book, and I'm gonna go from there. So that was my motivation to move forward, complete my book. And I did that. I did that. Better Days in 90 Days, Secrets, Tips, and Cheat Codes. So I'm telling. But I'm telling my story in this. So essentially what the book is what I would have told myself at 18. So for all the youth out there, I feel like this is a resource that can, it's not a one-stop shop solution to fix all our problems, no. But it helped me. It helps me every day using the concepts and the principles that are in our book. So if you have young men in your life, you have young ladies in your life that are going through things, maybe this can be a resource. But as well, I feel like it's universal and anybody can learn from these books and the affirmations and resources that are inside. For instance, how to start your own business. I laid it out in there. Cheat code. How to write your own book. I laid it out in there. Cheat code. How to fix your credit. I laid it out in there. It's a cheat code to do better in as little as 90 days. So I'm sure somebody out there is like, how can you make your life better in 90 days? Cheat codes, right? It's just having the right resources. For me, fix your credit first, and a lot of things that you think are a worry won't be as significant. It's usually a money thing that causes people to spiral out of control. I wish it wasn't that way, but I hear stories about people, just killing themselves because they had it all and they lost it, going up from up to bottom, they never had those struggles. So once again, I thank God for, allowing me to go through those things. Because things don't happen to us, they happen in us. And they don't happen to us, they happen for us. And those are things that I just live by. So I say thank you. Because after manifestation, there's preparation. I think preparation is the biggest tool that you can use. I try to learn something new every day. Because I'm a dreamer, I'm a risk taker. My wife hates it. I have one plan and I swerve real quick to something else, but I can't help it if opportunities be presenting themselves. So, I U-turn real quick. She was like, I had this planned out. Like, you said you want to do this. Like, babe, things change. I can't fix it. I guess that's my toxic trait. America makes it an opportunist, but at the same time, they institutionalize you. So the fact that these dudes, they get these big record labels and then go to jail shouldn't surprise you. That's what lies do. That's a quote from a poem I heard, and that really hit home because a lot of the things that we think that we glorify, they're not important. We think about all these rappers, they get all this money and then they go to jail like that wasn't by choice, like that wasn't a part of the system, like that wasn't already put into place. We gotta really think about where we want to be. So everybody pull out your phones. I just want y'all to take this time to, if you could get one thing done in these next 30 days, if you can get one thing done in the next 90 days, what would it be? Just take time, take about 30 seconds to think about it. If you can do any one thing in the next 90 days, what would it be? And if that's hard, what would you want to do in the next 6 months? What's one thing that you would want to do in the next 6 months? Please write that down. One thing that you want to do in the next 6 months. So that doesn't matter how successful you are. It could be read a new book. It could be network a little bit more. It could be go to that place that you haven't been to. It could be take your wife on this vacation. What's something in the next 6 months that you would like to do? When I think about these goals, I always say think big, because we are programmed to be mediocre, to be average, to think average, to do what the average person is doing, to do what everybody else is doing. So I ask you to think big. When I say think of one goal for 6 months, think big. This is how we take back control. This is how we gain empowerment back in our lives. You can't always blame it on everybody else. It's you versus you. As we write down these goals, we got to start organizing and identifying resources. What's available for you? Who do I know? Who owes me a favor? Who do I align with? Do I trust them? Who could I collaborate with? We want to identify and outline all of these barriers that we may face. We must evaluate what we have to work with as well as what we need to acquire. Who do we need to connect with to achieve goals for ourselves in those 30 days, in the next 90 days? Who do we need to connect with that can enhance us? Maybe it's a person, maybe it's a resource, maybe it's a program. What am I missing in my life to get to that next level? Because being mediocre isn't it. Whatever you're doing, you can always elevate. That's my brand. If you ever see the 3 Rockets, it's all about elevation. It's all about leveling up. No matter what you got going on in life, you can level up. Don't be mediocre. God didn't put us on here to be mediocre. He didn't put us on earth to be average. When you think about what it takes to create a human, how many sperm cells it would take to reach one egg, that baby develops inside of a woman. Everything that happens inside of there, and we're creating babies off of nothing, off of ourselves, So when we talk about if we can create a human, what is it to create an idea? If we can see a baby grow up and start to walk, what is it to start a business and start making profit? What is it to graduate from school? What is it to complete that program? We are creators. I believe that if you are able to clearly lay out your vision onto paper and have a specific plan of action, these actions must be time-bound. It's called making SMART goals. Specific, measurable, attainable, relatable, realistic, and time-bound. When we think about the goals we make, you gotta be specific. We can't say that we just wanna make money. How much money? And what amount of time? What you gonna do to get there? What products do you have? What services do you have? How do you market it? We have to think about these things. Let's be smart about it, measurable. And what amount of time, just being specific. Is it obtainable? Is it realistic? Am I thinking about, I wanna make $1 million in the next 90 days? No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. Mm-mm. You don't. You don't. Time bound, but it's just being realistic, because if you want to make $1 million in 90 days, that's 300,000 this month. Put me on. Put me on, you hear me? Anybody in here? No, I'll just play deadlines hold us accountable. But this is what keeps consistency. This is what keeps momentum consistent. Always making goals and making timelines for these goals. Every 90 days, I'm recreating. I used to work at the White Building, and I was doing motivational speaking there and setting up courses and doing this for other people. I was giving away my time, putting others in a position to win. And look at me now, I feel like everything comes full circle. If you give, you will receive ultimately. And again, I thank y'all for coming because this is just the first step in a new venture for me. I got big goals around. This is the first day of a whole new 90-day program for me. So once again, I thank y'all for coming and spending this time with me as it's special.
Glad to be here.
No, thank y'all. See, better days in 90 days is a lifestyle. It's a difference between those that talk and those that do. Taking action right now, putting a plan into motion right now. What can we do right now? See, I know what it's like to go through the struggle, but it gets to the point to where too much don't surprise me anymore. So I prepare. See, I've been lied on. I've been talked about. I've been abandoned. I've struggled, stumbled, been broken. I've been down. I've wasted so much time in these dark spaces, doing things that didn't make me no better, doing things that made me worse. And I knew it made me worse, and I still do it because it made me richer. Like, if money doesn't bring you happiness, why is it the focal of your life? If money doesn't bring us the joy that we need, why do we surround our whole livelihood around making money? Just a thought. I don't have the answer to that. But all those times I learned that anytime I was down, I wasn't taking losses. I was learning lessons. When things don't go your way, you gotta ask yourself, what can I learn from this? What could I have done different? Where can I apply more pressure? Did I do everything in my power to create that outcome that I say I wanted? To ensure success, you gotta outwork everybody. Everybody has a specific niche. Everybody has a specific genre or service or product. Just imagine somebody doing the same thing that you're doing. Whoever that person is, just imagine them. Oh, yeah, I see him over there. You see him over there. You see him over there copying your moves. I know you see him. But is they working harder than you?
Come on.
They want the same thing that you want. Is you gonna let them work harder than you? Is they pulling up at more seminars than you? Is they reading more books than you? You have to outwork your competition. Not only know who your competition is, but you have to outwork them. I try to outwork everybody. I'm a poet, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a motivational speaker, I'm an author, I'm a community activist, I'm a lead project manager in a nonprofit, so I do a lot, but I try to surround myself with people that are acceptable to my ideas. I try to surround myself around people that want me to win. Taking risks. Any risk takers out there? Raise your hand high if you're a risk taker. I'm a risk taker. I am. I risk it all, But, man, I love the thrill of trying something new. I love the thrill of, just going out and making it happen. I get joy out of that every day, going out there and chasing something that I want for my family. But we gotta be careful. We gotta be careful on risk. Risk without a plan can be detrimental. With risk comes sacrifice. What are you willing to sacrifice to get what you want? You just gotta be careful. Is it worth it? That's a mindset that I always think, is it worth it? I was sacrificing a lot, and is losing my family worth it? Is losing my freedom worth it? Is losing my connection with the Almighty, is it worth it? If I'm not living in purpose, I'm not living in God's way, so I'm not connected. A lot of people say they're connected, and there's no way you could be. If you're making all the wrong choices, you're not listening to the inner voices in you, so, oh sir, you're not connected. But I try to be. Make sure your decisions and choices are worth it. If you are not willing to risk, you cannot grow. If you cannot grow, you cannot become the best. If you cannot become your best, how could we ever be happy? If we cannot be happy, what else is there? You have what it takes to create better days for yourself right now. Being better is really more than a material aspect. Being better is a mindset. Once you realize your strength and once you realize your passion, you can do anything. Once you realize your talents, once you realize that idea, that mission, that goal, that plan, once you realize what God put in you, anything is possible. But we've got to hold ourselves accountable. So everybody think about that one goal that you wrote down. So I want y'all to think about one person that y'all would share this goal with. One person that you trust. It's probably somebody that you talk to every day. Probably somebody that's gonna keep it real with you. You know, they're gonna tell you the raw, no matter how you feel. Pick that person. Pick them. But don't let that person detour you either. If they say it's a bad idea, maybe that wasn't the right person.
Right.
That person's goal is to hold you accountable, to make sure that you do what you said you was gonna do. Because the last step is execution. That comes with outworking everybody. That comes with doing everything that you say to do. That comes with fulfilling your plan. Whatever that goal is, we have to outline everything that it will take to achieve that goal. It may not be easy. I'm not gonna ask what some of y'all goals is, but for me, my next goal is to put out my fourth book. I got 90 days to do it starting today. I didn't want to start it until I finish this. So stay on the lookout for that fourth book. Whatever it takes to get your goal complete, do it. Whatever resources you have out there, do it. Whatever it's gonna take, do it. If you gotta sacrifice something that's not gonna ruin your family or something detrimental into that, sometimes you may have to sacrifice. You might not be able to eat, crab legs every other day, Just think about it. You wanna go on vacation, maybe. Let's say $1,000. What habits do you have? What are some things that you spend money on weekly, monthly, that you could do away with? $50 a week here, $100 a week here. Let's say if we could save $100 a week, 4 weeks, that's $400. We can save $100 a week for 3 months, that's $1,200. You can go anywhere you want to go just by cutting out a drink here, a bottle here, a sack here, whatever it may be, whatever your vice is, gambling, whatever it may be. Not to say it's right or wrong. I'm not here to say that. I'm just saying you can save some money, is all I'm saying. Being willing to sacrifice. But some of these sacrifices, it gets conflicting sometimes. You don't know which way to go. You don't know how to move forward. You're sending up prayers, but you're not getting responses. You laying your heart on the line for God, but it seems like He's not answering you on your time. That was me. I felt like I was moving 2 steps forward. He had knocked 3 steps back. It seemed like nothing was working. The harder I try to do better, the worse stuff started happening. I was going crazy. So I had to ask myself, am I crazy? I hear these voices in my head. They making these noises in my head. Am I crazy? Expecting a miracle to come down and save me. See, I pray, I don't wish, I have a God, not a genie, it's amazing. See, God places everything I need already inside of me. And you probably wouldn't even believe me if I told you it was free. But sometimes we have to close our eyes in order for us to see. See, I got a devil on my right shoulder. Nah. I got an angel on my right shoulder. Uplifting, inspiring, motivating, never lying to me. But it's a devil on my other. He wants to see me fail. He wants temptation to prevail. Trading my life for time. Maybe that's why they call it a C.A.R.E.S. When my mind says one thing and my heart says another, it was my body that made the wrong choice, but it was my heart that truly suffered. But I need my mind, body, heart, and soul to get along, but they don't seem to mix like water and oil. Making sounds with my mouth, but nothing comes out. Mumble. Trying to move forward, but over past obstacles I fall down. Stumble. You ever been down and out, living without? It's a hard enough life for us that are living it out. To the point you gotta ask yourself, why me? Why me? What have I done to deserve this? To the point you would do anything in the world in order to overturn this. So I stand here this day and I say, trauma, I'm not done. Because God has got me through way worse than this. Don't let the demons control your body. Don't let the demons control your mind. We ignore that inner voice, but that's a God-given sign. They say church is a museum for good people. It's a hospital for the broken. But I know a man worth $1 million, but his soul ain't worth a token. My circle's so small, it seems like I'm talking to myself. But it's not how many followers you have. See, Hitler had thousands. Jesus only had 12. Remember to pay it forward, give unto others as you would do unto yourself. Can I get a show of hands of those that might have a Bible on their bookshelf?
More than one.
Work like it's in God's hands, but then pray like it's in our own power. When you send prayers up, watch blessings come down. They're ours. But sometimes we don't get what we want. So we reply in aggression. But it was exactly what we needed. It was just disguised as a hidden message. Am I crazy? As I close my eyes and I pray with precision, I'm not perfect, but as I pray, I feel my imperfections glisten. Despite what I'm missing, I'm complete within my soul. But only God knows the sacrifices for these goals and the pain I try to hide. But remember, you don't have a soul. You are a soul. But still respect your body. You only get one in this lifetime. Am I crazy? Just maybe. But half y'all are crazy too. See, we can't judge the next man just because he's seeing differently than we do. Give glory to God. Remain honest. And I mean at least try to be true. Because see, even if you don't pray for me, I'm still pray for you. Am I crazy? No. I'm blessed beyond measure. So we can now just stand up and make some noise for Jesus Christ, the only one that can make our lives. Once again, it's just better days. Whatever that is, or whatever that means to you, just be better. And that's all we can do. Every day I wake up and I just try to be better. So I just want to leave y'all on that note. Never give up. Keep going. Give glory to God. And just be better. Thank you.